Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be recovering this photo. I say recover because it's kind of like a weird composition, and also we have some haze going on. This photo is back from 2018. Didn't know my way around a camera too well. Still getting the hang of it. So what we're gonna do is try to fix it up in Photoshop with the crop. But first of all, we're going to go over how I created my preset. Now this is a quick little disclaimer here. I do not know how I made my preset exactly, because every time I try to go back and create it from scratch again, it never comes out as good as my actual preset. I always default back to my preset that I always use, because whenever I try to go create it again, it's just not as good. So I'm gonna run you through the gist of it, but it's probably not gonna come out as good as if you just get the preset yourself and try it. But this will teach you kind of what all the tabs do, what all the functions do in Lightroom. We'll also take a look at the new color grading tab that just came out in Lightroom in this new update. Let's get started. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do for this photo is bring down my highlights to around like 79, shadows up to 100, and blacks down to compensate for the high dynamic range and loss of contrast. So I usually like to use the black slider to control contrast instead of the contrast slider itself. As you can see why the contrast slider, I just like the way the blacks look when you do it with the blacks instead. Gives it that deep look. .73 sounds good. And then the next thing I usually do for my preset, clarity 15, dehaze 15, and then we're gonna go in here and make a curve. So we're gonna do a little of a S curve here, and then we're gonna bring it up about halfway to add some blacks, some crushed blacks there. We're gonna do the same thing for all three of the colors in the RGB curve, red, green, and blue. I'm gonna add a little bit of an S curve on all three of these. This just gives it some more color. And then I'm also gonna do a little bit of crushed shadows at different levels for the thingy-mabob, whatever. Bring my vibrance up to like 47. And just fix the temperature because it's coming out weird right now. Okay, we're getting there. All right, so now I'm gonna go over to my saturation, bring down my greens because there's a little bit too much right now. Yellows are too much. There we go, we have like a pretty decent photo already. It's already pretty much recovered from the haze. Looking good. What else? I usually like to add a little bit of oranges to the highlights. That makes her skin less purple. Just a little bit of orangey highlights in there, like that. So this is the new highlights tab. It used to be 2 sliders, and now it looks like that. So I'm just gonna make it a little bit more, hold on here. Yo, this is strange. Okay. That's perfect. All right. Looking fuego, my dudes. All right, I'm gonna mess around with the color calibration. Bring the greens over like that. Some red. Reds are good. The reds are fine. I won't touch those. Okay. And the blues, what are we gonna do with those? I like them right where they are already, honestly. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right. Are we ready for Photoshop? I think so. Maybe a little bit more blue. There we go. A little bit brighter. Yeah, check it out, guys. Really nice. All right, I didn't touch any luminance sliders or anything like that. which I could go and adjust my oranges a little bit. Reds, nah. It all depends. I kind of like do you like the green glow or do you not like the green glow kind of thing, you know? I'm probably just gonna leave it because in Photoshop I'll just go change the glow myself manually there. It's kind of cool, just a little bit of extra contrast there. Yeah, I dig that. All right. Yeah, all right, let's export that. And type in amber. And go to Photoshop. Got our new artwork for portrait sauce right there. Amber. And drag it in there. All right, so now's the part where we're going to fix the crop here because I kind of messed up. And I only took one of these. All right, I took a burst of these and they are all like, the composition was off on all of them. But since it has a really simple background, I think we'll be able to fix it. So I'm gonna center her eyeballs in the middle of the crop square thingy. Let me just start over. Okay. Bring this down. Rotate it. Doesn't even need to be rotated. I think it's straight. No, yeah, that's fine. I think it's fine. Just a little bit. All right. I'm gonna press content aware, check it off, and then press OK. Let's go. Let's see what happens. Wow, that was so good. Oh my gosh. Screwed it over a little bit more. Wow, I did a perfect job. It's incredible. We just saved a 2-year-old photo. Okay, just take the clone tool here and just fix that up there. That's not even a problem at all. Perfect. Wow. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is run our frequency separation action. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I created the frequency separation actions. I'm going to flatten the layer first so that we have a background. Okay. I'm going to press Command J and make 2 copies of that layer. Hide that one for now, the top one. Go to Blur, go to Gaussian Blur. And we're going to set it to 3.2. That's what I do on my 24 megapixel camera. I usually do 3.2. And I'll get to later, some of you guys asked when is the right time to do adjustable frequency separators with adjustable blur, where you bring the blur up to a certain point when you don't see the skin texture anymore. I'll get into that in a second. But I'm just going to show you guys how I do all my skin retouching, which is this method. I made it up myself. All right, so we're going to go to Apply Image on the top layer. We're clicking on the top layer now, and we're switching it to the middle layer and subtract. And then we're going to set scale to 2 and offset to 128. There we go. I don't really know what I did, but that's what I know how to do. Okay. So now we're going to go to linear light here. And now we have it set up. So on the top layer here, we have our textures. And then on the bottom layer is just color. So it's texture on top of color. All right. So now we're going to go to our mixer brush. Make sure you're selected on the middle layer. And make sure your wetness is set to 10%, load is set to 75%, mix is set to 90%, flow can be around 7 to 12. Okay, 11. All right, and then we're just going to start brushing away here. She doesn't need a lot done, but just the parts where the lighting is a little bit not too smooth, like on the chin here. I'm gonna fix it like that. And then right here looks good. The nose, just gonna fix that up. And I kind of go in circular motions and move my way in because it's kind of picking up paint, if theoretically picking it up and then moving it. And the more you wherever you start, it's going to bring the paint over to that area, pretty much, if you think about it in paint terms. In paint terms. All right. Circular motions there. Okay. Make sure you avoid the edges of the mouth. Like, don't try and smooth that out because that's going to look freaking horrible. Okay, guys? It's a big mistake I see some photographers out there doing. It looks absolutely horrendous. So always go around the edges of the mouth there. Do not touch that. Leave those untouched because that will ruin your picture. Anything that has really just defined edges, like, you don't want to do that, guys. Okay? All right. End of TED Talk. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. All right. Just doing a little bit more here. All right, arms are looking purple. So how are we gonna fix that? How are we gonna fix that? We are going to flatten it. Press Command-Shift-E. Color layer. Switch back to the brush tool. And I'm going to sample the orange on her cheek here. Like that. And then come down here and paint it on here. Looking good in the neighborhood. Alright, other arm. And purple arms. No purple arms allowed in here. Alright. Maybe a little bit on the neck here. Looking good. I'm just gonna run my frequency separation action one more time and smooth out the forehead just a little bit. Just see it looks a little blotchy. There we go. Okay. Perfect. We just did that. That's all I did. Not much. All right. What else do we do? All right. So let's do some dodging and burning. So instead of running the action, this tutorial, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing. So we're going to create a curves layer. Make it go up to here. Another curves layer. Make it go down to here. And then we're going to press Command-I on that one, Command-I on that one. Now they're both hidden with a mask. So that means wherever you paint black, it's hidden, and wherever you paint white, it's showing. So right now, the entire screen is black for both of the curves adjustment layers, which means they're not showing the adjustment at all anywhere in the photo. So anywhere we paint white, when we have this selected, it's going to burn. And wherever we paint white on this layer, it's going to dodge. So I'm going to select the dodge layer. I'm actually going to rename it to dodge so we know that's a dodge layer. And then we're going to rename this curve layer to burn. All right, dodge. All right, so now we're going to dodge and we're going to do the main key points. We're going to do the nose here, like that. I like to go overboard on the places where you do highlights, just to make it kind of look cartoony, because I like cartoony. Highlights on the cheekbones, highlights in the eyeballs, thingies, highlights above and below the eyebrow. We're gonna do middle of the bottom lip, the entire upper lip, well, not the entire upper lip, just the parts where it's already bright. And then we're going to do Cupid's bow. Okay, and burn around the nose, the sides of the nose. I'm gonna burn this really bright spot over there. Alright. Burning these little lines. Alright, so now we're gonna burn below the mouth, below the bottom lip, the top of the bottom lip, and then the entire upper lip. And then also the little edges, just a little bit. Alright, so now let's turn on and off the dodging and burning that we've done so far. I'm going to select both layers and group them. And let's see what we got so far. Just a little bit of digital makeup there. Check it out. Alright, so I'm going to do some more burning on the undersides of the cheekbones there, just like that. And also around the entire face. You can just do it in the hair and just let it bleed off into the face a little bit. We're gonna burn the dark parts of the hair. And then we're also going to burn the trees in the background. And this bottom right corner, bottom left corner. There's this line going through the grass. I'm going to burn that as well. And that. I'm going to burn the middle of her pants there. We're going to switch back to dodge and brighten up the parts of her pants that are lit up. Brighten up this area, brighten up the hair, make it even more glowing than it already is. I'm gonna put dodge around this entire sun area. There you go. And also back here, just like that. And on her chest. Alright. Starting to look really good. Just gonna make some more intense highlights here. A little bit more. Okay. Yeah, no, never mind, not that. That's good. Alright. I'm seeing that she still has some red in her face. So I'm just gonna flatten my entire dodge and burn thing I did. Make a color layer. And take some of that orange from below and bring it up to the nose area. Some more orange in there. And the forehead. Okay. Just remove the redness from above her nose there. Okay. Looking pretty good. I think we're about done. I might want to add a little bit more of a dodge in the tree here. And, I don't know, man. I think we're set. Maybe do a selective color layer. Let's see, let's do selective color. Play with some greens, make them bluish. Just slide them back and forth, see what looks good. Kind of want some teals in here, yeah. Just playing around with them. Dragging them all in different directions. More yellow, less yellow. Add a little bit more yellow. Reds. And leave those where they are. That's fine. Magenta, leave that where it is. Yellow. Yeah, we're not going to touch reds. Reds are fine. All right. Yeah. All right, let's see how the before and after looks on the selective color. Yeah, just add a little bit more yellow glow to that. That was about it. Okay, last step, a levels adjustment. We're gonna crush, remember way back when we were doing Lightroom? Let me make sure I'm still recording. Yeah, I got 6 minutes left on this half-hour recording. I think we're gonna wrap it up, we're good. All right, so the last step is the levels. Remember back when we were in Lightroom and we crushed the shadows a little bit? We're gonna bring them back to pure black. And the highlights, we're gonna just pop them up a little bit. And that just completes it, my guys. Maybe I'll do a little bit of dodging and burning on her eyes, just to make her eyes pop a little bit more, and also her eyebrows. Then after that, I'm exporting it and we'll be all set. Just burning her eyelashes. Like that. Kind of like adding eyeliner. And then I'm gonna just dodge her whites of her eyes a little bit. Okay, and let's see how that looks. After. Before, after. I'm gonna add a little bit more burn on this side as well. This brings more attention to the eyes. I feel like I overdid that a little bit, so I'll just go back here and remove a little bit. All right, one more thing. I just want to show you guys when you would want to do a variable frequency separation adjustment. So we're just gonna run my action where it just pulls up a box when it asks for what dodge and blur level to do. And let's say, let me give you guys an example. It's hard to give you an example on a photo that's done. Let's say we just want to remove her mouth. All right, so we're gonna keep blurring it all the way until you don't see her mouth anymore, like this level. All right, press OK. And now we're gonna go to the texture layer, and we're gonna take the texture from over here by your cheek, and you can literally get rid of like whatever you want, as long as when you're selecting your blur level, what you're trying to remove is gone. So what this does is it keeps the color of the skin, and you're keeping the texture. But yeah, this is a really bad example. And now you don't really know where to actually use this skill. But I promise in another tutorial, I'll show you guys this. You actually want to use this when you have some really harsh lines on your face and you want to fix the harsh lighting. That's what I use it for, to smooth out the lighting on the face. But yeah, this one we had great lighting, so I didn't really have to do anything. But yeah, I'm gonna run my sharpen and export action, and we're gonna post this up on Instagram, and I'll see you guys there. Peace out. Last video I did this instead of this, and I did it again. Peace out.